Hello and welcome to My Retired Life, and in this video I am going to give you 5 things older retirees regret. I'm 65, I'm talking about 75 and 80-year-olds. I had a chat with about 7 or 8 of them, and I asked them what their regrets were for retirement. And here are the top 5 things that they came up with. Number 1, the first thing that they all said, they wish they retired earlier. Now, these older gentlemen, you got to remember, they retired at 65 and they didn't have the same ability to retire early as you and I might have. So they retired at 65, and their biggest regret is they wish they would have retired sooner, giving them more time in their golden years and their retirement years to do things that they wanted to do. I thought that was pretty normal for most older people, you know, towards the end of their lives, and now it's the kind of the reflection, if you will, of what they did and didn't do. And I appreciate their input. That's why I asked these questions. Number 2 regret that they had, believe it or not, was they wish they'd spent more money when they were younger, earlier in their retirement. As you age, you do less things. It's just a progression, right? You do less activities, less likely to travel, whether it's insurance or your health. That was one of the things that they wish they would have done when they retired early, and early in their retirement. They would have spent more of their savings, because you don't need it as much at the end, to do the things that they wanted to do. Number 3, the third thing that they wish they would have done was take better care of their health. And I'm kind of a little guilty about that, and I don't do that very well. I enjoy eating too many sweets. That's my biggest problem. But they wish they would have taken care of their health, and I got to heed that advice, and I am going to heed that advice, and I'm going to start looking after my body a little bit better, a little less sweets. You know, instead of having a dessert every night, I might do it once a week, just as a treat. So I got to listen to their advice because, hey, they've got the wisdom. So take care of your health. That's the number 3 thing that they regretted. Number 4, the older generation wish they had taken up a hobby. Find a new hobby, whether it's woodwork, photography, because once you start settling into retirement, they said, after like 70, 75, they wish they had something other than the TV to watch, like some woodwork or puzzles or something to keep them motivated to getting up and doing things. Whether it's, like for me, it'll be photography. When I get older, although I do photography now, when I get older, I can see doing a lot more of that, and actually getting better at it as I get older, because I'll have a little more patience, and that will be the only thing in my life. Right now I've got the dogs and running around and chores and everything else, but as you age, you lose those chores and you hire people to do it and such. So they wish they had a hobby. So think about whether it's gardening, whatever your hobby might be, or what you wanted to do when you were younger. Maybe it was cryptography or whatever, writing. A lot of people, one of them is writing his memoirs for his great-grandchildren who was just born. And he's writing a little memoir for it, and he's going to give it to her and tell her not to open it till 18, like a time capsule thing. So that's kind of cool and interesting as well. So that's what they said. And the last one, of course, they wish they had traveled more. As you get older, to be 75 to 80, you're not as likely to travel. So when you're younger, if you could retire like I did at 55, we did a lot of traveling between 50 and 60 before we decided to settle down in Arizona and get the dogs, you know, have a little bit more responsibility that way. So what we did was we traveled a lot when we were younger. We still travel, we just changed our mode of travel. We take the car and we drive with the dogs, so they come with us. So those are the 5 biggest regrets from some of the older. My biggest regret is mosquitoes. It's our national bird up here in Canada. Anyway, those are the 5 biggest regrets of retirees between say 70 and 80 years old. Those are the things that they wish they did. So take that advice for whatever it's worth. You might agree with it, you might not agree with it, you might be a homebody. You might want to travel, you might have something else to add to this list. If you have something to add to the list, put it in the comments below. Something that you might have regretted or think you might regret, put it in the comments. Don't forget to like, that's free to do. Just push that button and subscribe if you enjoy these kind of videos. And let's call this one done.